All right, we are back live. Reverend getting mad. We are back live. So we went through all that for nothing. Just needed a restart. Everything back up. Wait for everybody to come back into the room. So we'll just wait. You could go in. I just sent her an email. Where the email at? Man. How can I send her a message? What? How can I send her a message? You're killing me. How can I send her a new message? Why can't I give her a message? That's a sneeze. Oh, compose. There we go. Got it. All right, now. All right, let's back out. Let's back out. So much easier on Hangouts, man. It takes forever. So much easier on the Hangout. We had to go through all that. So is anybody here? All right, did I hit them up? Says there ain't nobody here. Well, while we waiting on everybody to play a song, Or better yet, let's just get to a video. Where are we at? I think we on number 2, right? Mute that.
There's a great accumulation of pieces of evidence that eventually go into this. Good morning. Let me just take a moment to thank you for coming out this morning. I'll be relatively brief and I will respect your time, so we thank you for being here. I'm Vic Reynolds. I'm the director of the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. Standing with me to my right is Scott Dutton. He's the deputy director of the Bureau, head of the investigations. To my left is Joey Holmes, the DA. She'll speak in a moment. I'll allow her to introduce some folks who are with her today as well. As you're well aware by now, the agents from the GBI secured arrest warrants yesterday afternoon for the arrest of William Bryan in Glenn County, Georgia. He was charged with the offenses of felony murder and criminal attempt to commit the felony offense of false imprisonment. The defendant was arrested around 5:35 yesterday evening in Glenn County without incident, was turned over to the Glenn County Sheriff's Department and was booked into that local jail. I just wanted to take a moment this morning and to thank some of our partners in this case who have assisted us to this point of the investigation. Of course, the Glenn County Sheriff's Department for their assistance yesterday, along with the Georgia State Patrol and the FBI. I also want to take a moment on behalf of the Bureau to thank the Cobb District Attorney's Office and Ms. Holmes to my left for their involvement and assistance throughout the course of this investigation. Once they became involved, I want to take a moment as well, a little bit more of a personal note, and thank the Arbery family for their patience, and thank the city of Brunswick and Glenn County and the state of Georgia and the citizens here for their patience as well. As most of you will recall who've been following this case, the GBI was requested to become involved. I think today's our 16th day of the investigation. When we first became involved, we respectfully requested the citizens of Brunswick, Glenn County, and the state of Georgia, and to some extent this country, to grant us some patience to allow us to conduct the investigation. That's been done, and I want to tell you on behalf of this Bureau, we sincerely appreciate that. It wasn't an easy thing to ask. When we became involved, we knew the case was already over 2 months old. It was not that way for this Bureau because May 6th was our first day of hitting the ground running, investigating the case, but we certainly realized it was a case that had been around a while. It's a case that has generated a great deal of emotion and passion, and we respect that. And so I cannot begin to tell you, but from the bottom of our heart, as an agency, how much we appreciate the city, the county, the state, and to some extent this country, granting this agency the ability and the patience to do our job.
All right, we're on with the next round. Anybody here yet? Hey, Naya. Hold on a second, y'all. Yeah. Shucks, right around. Would you say we lost Black history? I see your link to driver. Let me answer your question real quick. Eating chicken noodle soup. Let me answer your question real quick. You say, how is Roddy being charged? Well, let's break it down. In Georgia, they have a law that says if you are in the commission of a felony and that felony leads to murder, you can be charged with murder. I give you an example. If you are robbing the bank or you robbing the gas station, you outside in the car with the car running. The other person's inside the bank. They kill somebody. They catch you, both of you getting locked up with murder. He's also being charged with blocking in Ahmaud Arbery. So that's the second charge. So all of them have 2 charges on them. They all got felony murder, and the McMichaels also have aggravated assault. But Roddy has aggravated what do they call it? For trying to pin him in and making him change his direction. He being charged with that. So that's how he getting charged. All right, this is a driver link. Oh.
Frederick D. Patterson was the first African American to own and operate a car manufacturing business. Not new for Mr. Patterson was being a noteworthy first. While a student at Ohio State University, he became the first African American to play on the school's football team. After college, he returned to Greenfield, Ohio in the late 1800s and joined his father in the family-owned horse-drawn carriage business, which later became C.R. Patterson and Sons. When his father died in 1910, Mr. Patterson took over the business. An astute entrepreneur, he recognized that the new horseless carriages presented his company with a golden chance to expand. Seizing this opportunity, he converted his company in the early 1900s from producing horse-drawn carriages to manufacturing automobiles and made 150 cars. In 1915, he became known for his Greenfield Patterson automobile that he produced in 2 styles, each costing about $850.
Yeah.
Those 2 styles competed with the popular Model T being manufactured by Henry Ford. Mr. Patterson's business became so profitable that he made an even larger expansion and shifted to making buses and trucks. With his eye on the future, he created a steady customer base by building strong relationships with numerous school districts.
And his children sold the business. We know the rest of that. Children sold the business. All right, we got a link from Naya. A hairstylist worked while symptomatic and exposed 91 people to the CV. You got a video for us? A hairstylist with CV worked for 8 days this month while symptomatic, exposing as many as 91 customers and co-workers in Missouri, health officials said. The case highlights the threats of the community spread in the United States as businesses. Hey!
Piles of hot food in communal trays, each patron helping themselves to as many servings as...
Come on, man, what you doing? You cut me off and everything. And then you gonna stop playing? I never asked you to play.
If just one is infected, it may be the perfect setting for a virus to flourish. After Japan helped show how fast it could spread.
Let's start this over. Hold on. They want us to watch this.
And casinos, piles of hot food in communal trays, each patron helping themselves to as many servings as desired. If just one is infected, it may be the perfect setting for a virus to flourish. And a new video out of Japan helped show how fast it could spread. Medical experts teamed up with the country's public broadcaster, NHK, in an experiment that simulates a cruise ship's buffet-style restaurant. First, one of 10 participants rubs his palms with special liquid only visible under black light. He represents an infected person who had coughed into his hands. Then he joins 9 others as they spoon food onto their plates and sit down to eat. After 30 minutes, the room goes dark. Before an ultraviolet light comes on, the fluorescent liquid is now visible on a lot of surfaces. Items the so-called infected person had touched. Tongs, pitchers, food tray lids. Left residue others picked up. And in turn spread to silverware, dishes, glassware, clothes and phones. After half an hour, every participant had come into contact with the liquid. 3 of them had gotten it on their faces. A visual show of how easily a contaminated substance can travel.
The issues with that video is that there's a lot of material which is put on the hands, and so that's a very artificial situation. But I think what they've been able to do is to actually show.
Come on, man. Now, we didn't want to watch this. You want...
Just what the consequences are of the spreading of potential infectious disease in hands when proper hand hygiene is not performed.
Video of the experiment has been viewed millions of times since it was posted.
Look at that, y'all. That's terrible.
The Joint Project Supervisor says it's partly meant to illustrate how often some surfaces are touched by many people, like handrails, light switches, or door handles.
It may seem radical, but I think that video should be...
All right, I had enough. Yeah. Bye. Just leave us alone.
In front of every single public restroom.
What?
Many of the countries which are opened up is that the outbreaks have been linked to small clusters.
Didn't I ask you to stop?
Not necessarily the people being super spreaders,
Hey,
but locations being super.
How you stop this thing?
The need that people must be having.
Oh, let's mute it then. There you go. A hairstylist with CV worked for 8 days this month while symptomatic, exposing as many as 91 customers and co-workers in Missouri. The case highlights the threat of community spread in the United States as businesses reopen after weeks of restrictions to combat the spread of CV. And in this instance, the 84 customers exposed got service from the hairstylist at great clips. In addition to the customers, 7 co-workers were also notified of the exposure. It's unclear when the stylist tested positive, but the infection is believed to have happened while traveling. The stylist worked May 12th through Wednesday, health officials said. At that time, businesses such as barbershops and hair salons were allowed to operate in the state. The individual and their clients were wearing face coverings. The 84 clients potentially directly exposed will be notified by the health department and be offered testing, as will 7 co-workers, the Springfield Greene County Health Department said in a statement. It is the hope of the department that because face coverings were worn throughout this exposure timeline, no additional cases will result. Garlick did not provide details on identity or condition of the stylist. He said health officials have reached out to the people who were exposed, adding that the hairstylists have kept impeccable records that made contact tracing possible. But he also cautioned about the risk of overwhelming resources. I'm going to be honest with you. We can't have many more of these, said at a news conference. We can't make this a regular habit, or our capabilities as a community will be strained. Health officials provided a detailed timeline of all the places the stylist visited, including a local Dairy Queen, a Walmart, and a CVS pharmacy. They urged those who may have gone to those places to be on the lookout for CV symptoms. Goddard said he was pleased with the deep cleaning measures taken by Great Clips, adding that he now considers the business safe. All right. I don't want to get confused. Okay, this is a driver.
.com is the only.
Yeah, You want me to watch the whole video? You gonna force us to watch the whole video? God darn. How you gonna make us watch the whole video? I'm not gonna watch the whole video, man.
You're not worried about the virus?
No, I'm not. I have no reason to be.
And you guys won't get the virus because of your beliefs?
Yes.
No, I won't get the virus because Jesus says I'm not.
If you got God inside of you, you have nothing to worry about. You're good.
I moved here from Texas for this church, so it's definitely essential in my life.
We are continuing to have services with some restrictions.
Hundreds of workers attended Sunday service Life Tabernacle, Central Louisiana, April 5th. Despite a
We have
statewide
told our
stay-at-home-
older parishioners and our parishioners that have pre-existing conditions to stay home. We take everyone's temperature when they come through the doors. We have people use hand sanitizer often. We have refrained from handshaking and hugging until after this pandemic is over. We're maintaining 6 feet. They would rather come to church and worship like free people than they have lived like prisoners in their homes for 22 days now. Could it be that the depression and the anxiety and the emotion problems that we're facing right now, clinical problems that is being brought on by this virus, could it be that it is worse than the people who have already contracted this virus and died?
I think it's utterly ridiculous that they're doing what they're doing. I have an idea of why. To me, they're just afraid they're not going to get enough money in the collection plate. And if you notice, they go around collecting, picking up people like the elderly who is vulnerable and is listening to what they say.
The poorest of the poor do not have cars or other ways to get to church. So this church has 26 buses, and they go and they pick up their congregation all throughout the Baton Rouge General.
They trying to get that money, boy.
And we don't believe the governor's order is legal because both the federal Constitution and the state Constitution protect our right of free exercise and our right to peacefully assemble for that purpose. As far as we know, we don't have any reported cases. We expect that some of our congregation will eventually get it, just like the rest of the country, and we will deal with it when it comes. I mean, we don't have an invisible shield that protects us.
Well, that's all you got to do is trust the Lord. If you trust the Lord, people in the Bible have been healed.
I preach we have nothing to fear but fear itself. We had an emotional time, had water baptisms, and a lot of people saved today.
Mine is based on fear. I don't have fear. I have faith.
I'm not scared of this virus. When it's my time, it's my time.
If you scared to die, everybody want to go to heaven, but don't nobody want to die. When my day come, I ain't mad with the world.
Nah, where you find this video at? Where you find these retards? And I said retards. I'm put a chat up here. Come on, we gotta talk about this. Where you find this video at night with these daggone retards? Man sitting there, wearing a mask, talking about he ain't afraid to die. Then why you wearing a mask, chump? Huh? Ooh. You got the mask pulled down for the interview. Why you wearing the mask then? If you ain't afraid. Somebody talk to me. Remember what I said? Oh, listen to what the people say. Watch what they do. Oh, you have the video of the driver? I'm sorry. Where you find that video of the driver? What's wrong with them people? Down there in Louisiana. I'm daggone back with Hicks. That dude got a mask under his chin talking about, he ain't afraid to die. What you got the mask on for then, chump? If it's my time, it's my time. Everybody want to go to heaven, but everybody afraid to die. But what you got the mask on for then? Ain't got nerve to have a cheap surgical mask at that. Got it down under his chin while he talking trash. Yeah, I ain't scared of no CV. Sir, why you got a mask? Oh, it's just there. I don't use it. Ain't for stuff. If you ain't scared, what's going on, Jesse James? If you ain't scared, what you wearing the mask for? People always talk trash. The video I just played. You didn't see it? What daggone crazy dude on that? I'll play it again. Talking that mess. It was the video of the driver had. Hold on, I'll play it again. Daggone retard.
You're not worried about the virus?
Yeah, I'm not. I have no reason to be.
And you guys won't get the virus because of your beliefs.
Yes.
No, I won't get the virus because Jesus says I'm not.
If you got God inside of you, you have nothing to worry about. You're good.
I moved here from Texas for this church, so it's definitely essential in my life.
We are continuing to have services with some restrictions.
Life Tabernacle. The church pastor Tony Sprout was arrested on March 31st and charged with 6 misdemeanors for violating the
We have
order.
told our older parishioners and our parishioners that have pre-existing conditions to stay home. We take everyone's temperature when they come through the doors. We have people use hand sanitizer often. We have refrained from handshaking and hugging until after this pandemic is over. We're maintaining 6 feet.
They would rather come to church and worship like free people than they have lived like prisoners in their homes for 22 days now. Could it be that
they ain't 6 feet apart?
And the anxiety and
they not 6 feet apart.
Problems that we're facing right now, clinical problems that is being brought on by this virus. Could it be that it is worse than the people who have already contracted this virus and died?
I think it's utterly ridiculous that they're doing what they're doing. I have an idea of why. To me, they're just afraid they're not going to get enough money in the collection plate. And if you notice, they go around collecting, picking up people like the elderly who is vulnerable and so listen to what they say.
The poorest of the poor do not have cars or other ways to get to church. So this church has 26 buses.
They got 26 buses.
They pick up their congregation all throughout the Baton Rouge general metropolitan area. And we don't believe the governor's order is legal because both the federal constitution and the state constitution.
Man, you all about y'all making that money.
Of free exercise and our right to peaceful.
They making that money
for that purpose. As far as we know, we don't have any reported cases. We expect that some of our congregation will eventually get it, just like the rest of the country, and we will deal with it when it comes. I mean, we don't have an invisible shield that protects us.
Well, that's all you got to do is trust the Lord.
Look at him.
If you trust the Lord.
What's that under his chin? That is a surgical mask under his chin. So you trust in the Lord, but you got that mask under your chin. Remember what I said. Don't judge a person by what they say. Judge a person by what they do. Now, what is he doing? He talking about he ain't scared of the TV, but he wearing a mask, and a cheap mask at that. If you believe in the Lord, I showed y'all the scripture. The Lord said, take your butt in the house and hide until it pass. He didn't say go to mass. He said hide until it pass. But you follow the Lord, right?
I mean, people in the Bible didn't been healed.
I preach we have nothing to fear but fear itself. We had an emotional time, had water baptisms, and a lot of people saved today.
Virus faith don't fear. I don't have fear. I have faith.
I'm not scared of this virus. When it's my time, it's my time.
If you scared to die, everybody want to go to heaven, but don't nobody want to die. When my day come, I ain't mad with the world.
Yeah. Oh, come on, yeah. Yeah, you can't make this stuff up. Boy, I'm back with Hicks. Woo-hoo-hoo. Come on, yeah. You said he had a bottle of hand sanitizer in his pocket. Oh, I ain't noticed that. But he ain't worried though, right? He believe in the Lord. He got the hand sanitizer and the mask, but he ain't worried. Yeah. Well, I tell you, that's why you gotta watch what somebody say and then watch what they do. Watch what they say and then watch what they do. What did Naya say? Was he arrested? I'm getting confused now. I don't know what link is which. Let's take a chance.
Tony Spell says the Life Tabernacle Church in Central believes in the healing hand of Jesus, even through an aggressive global pandemic.
That is our command. They shall lay hands on the sick and they shall recover.
Spell's Sunday morning service brought more than 1,000 people from the Baton Rouge area to his church property. Social distancing was not happening. Throughout the service, parishioners can be seen touching each other and closely gathering, very few wearing masks or gloves. Spell says if anyone in his congregation is infected with COVID-19, he will heal them through God.
I want to address that by laying hands on them and praying for them and believing God to heal their body.
Governor Edwards, when asked, once again addressed the controversial service with his same message from the beginning.
I would urge that faith leader and all others to heed this directive and not unnecessarily engage in mass gatherings where
the screen froze.
Can spread.
Thank God for that phone.
Identifies himself as a first responder, saying his services will not be stopped even through the governor's order to shelter in place.
When the paramedics can't get there, when the law enforcement can't get there, the Holy Ghost can get there, and it'll make a difference in somebody's life.
All right, hold on, y'all. We gotta replay that.
Pastor Tony Spell says the Life Tabernacle Church in Central believes in the healing hand of Jesus, even through an aggressive global pandemic.
That is our command. They shall lay hands on the sick and they shall recover.
Spell's Sunday morning service brought more than 1,000 people from the Baton Rouge area to his church property. Social distancing was not happening. Throughout the service, parishioners can be seen touching each other and closely gathering, very few wearing masks or gloves. Spell says if anyone in his congregation is infected with COVID-19, he will heal them through God.
I want to address that by laying hands on them and praying for them and believing God to heal their body.
Governor Edwards, when asked, once again addressed the controversial service with his same message from the beginning.
I would urge that faith leader and all others to heed this directive and not unnecessarily engage in mass gatherings where this coronavirus can spread.
Spell identifies himself as a first responder, saying his services will not be stopped even through the governor's order to shelter in place.
When the paramedics can't get there, when the law enforcement can't get there, the Holy Ghost can get there, and it'll make a difference in somebody's life.
All right. Now, I told y'all what God said, right? I told y'all what God said to do. Take your ass in the house and close the doors and hide yourself. Now, this man said that he can heal it. Let's see how many we got dead today, and you tell me how many he can go heal. Let's go look at Louisiana. Let's go look at Louisiana. Where are our estimates for the day at? We got 1,666,828 cases. We got 98,683 deaths. 446,914 have recovered. 4,446,914, 82% have been discharged or recovered. 98,683, 18% have died. Now let's find Louisiana. Wait a minute, the numbers reset. Hold on, we don't want that. There you go. Let's find where's Louisiana. Louisiana. They got 37,040 cases. They picked up 115 today. 2,689 dead. 21 died today. Where was that reverend at? How did he allow 2,689 people to die? How did he allow 21 to die today? When they get on the ventilator, where's the rev? He said he could heal everybody. Where's the rev? When those 2,689 people was on the ventilator, where was the rev? I'm listening to somebody, where was the rev? When those 2,689 people was on the ventilator, where was the rev? Where was the rev at healing them? 21 people died there today. Where was the rev? Where was the rev at on vacation? Where is he at? Is he in Vermont? Where's the rev at? He up there in Maine in the Poconos? Where's the rev? He said he can heal you. So how come he let 21 people die today? Well, why he didn't go heal them? Why he ain't told Trump we don't need no ventilators in Louisiana? I'm going to heal everybody. I'm the healer. You got 369,656 cases in New York. They picked up 1,720 today. You got 29,112 deaths. 103 people died in New York City today. New Jersey, 154,713. They picked up 444 new cases today. Total deaths, 11,083. New deaths, 97. 97 people died in New Jersey today. Illinois, 107,796. They picked up 2,352 cases. 4,790 have died. 75 people died in Illinois today. California, 92,535. They picked up 1,947 new cases. 3,759 deaths. They picked up 71 deaths today. Massachusetts, 91,662. They picked up 773 new cases. Total deaths, 6,304. New deaths, 76. Pennsylvania, 71,136. They picked up 805 new cases. Total deaths, 5,143. Deaths today, 82. 82 people died in Pennsylvania today. You work in a funeral home, you getting rich. Texas, 55,485. They picked up 869 new cases. Total deaths, 1,527. 15 people died in Texas today. Michigan, what up though? 54,365 cases. They picked up 452 new cases. Total deaths, 5,223. 65 people died in Michigan today. All right. Florida, 50,127. They picked up 676 new cases. Total deaths, 2,233. 43 people died in Florida today. My state, Maryland, my Maryland, my little itty bitty state, Maryland. We got 45,495. Are you serious? We picked up 1,071 new cases today. 2,240 people have died. 36 of them today. My little state, we one of the smallest states in the country. We got 45,495 cases. We picked up 1,071 cases today. Total deaths, 2,243, 36 people have died. Let's go down to Georgia. Georgia got 42,242. They picked up 760 cases. Total deaths, 1,822. 14 people died in Georgia today. Connecticut, 40,022. They picked up 382 cases today. Total deaths, 3,675. 38 people died in Connecticut today. Louisiana, we already covered them. Where you at, Rev? 21 people died today, Rev. You didn't heal them? Virginia, 35,749. They picked up 799 new cases. Total deaths, 1,159. 23 people died today. Ohio, where? Cleveland sucks. Cleveland sucks. Cleveland sucks. Cleveland sucks. They picked up 31,471 cases. 613 just today. 1,960 people have died. 81 of them died today. Indiana. Ooh-wee. 30,901. They picked up 492 cases. 1,964 people have died. 23 people died today. If that don't make it greasy. Let's keep moving here. Colorado, 23,964. They picked up 477 cases. Total deaths, 1,327. 3 people died today. North Carolina, 22,864. They picked up 754 cases today. 778 deaths, 3 people died in North Carolina today. State of Washington, 20,395. They picked up 219 cases. Total deaths, 1,076. 5 people died in Washington today. Let's shimmy on down here. Y'all see these numbers? Let's shimmy on down here to South Carolina. Check out the driver's state. 9,895. 257 new cases today. 425 deaths. 6 people died in South Carolina. All right, Dorothy, click your heels 3 times. Because we going to Oz in the state of Kansas. The wonderful Wizard of Oz. Because 8,946 total cases. They picked up 37 today. Total deaths, 207. No deaths today. I guess the flying monkeys making everybody stay in the house. It is. How crazy. You got 1,666,866,000. That's a double number. 828. Threw me off for a second. Total cases. New cases today, 21,929. So, this is like the 5th day in a row we picked up 20-some thousand cases through the country. Total deaths, 98,683. New deaths, 1,036. Now, let's see how we are against the world. We are the world. We are the cheering. Now, y'all see New York got 369,656. Let's see how they are against the world. Where are they against the world? Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Where are they at against the world? We're going to look at the world. That mess out of here, man. All these daggone commercials. Can we get to it, please? Thank you. That's daggone shame. New York still beating out Brazil and Russia. New York by itself and beat Brazil. It didn't beat Russia. It didn't beat Spain. Only the UK out this list. The UK and Italy got more deaths. Only the UK and Italy have more deaths than New York. New York got 29,000. The UK has 36,000 deaths. And Italy has 32,000 deaths. Y'all understand? New York has beat everybody in this top 6 in the world. Except for the United States, the UK, and Italy, New York by itself has beat Brazil, Russia, and Spain in deaths. And in cases, New York City by itself has beat all 5, except for the United States, which is a part of. New York City has beat everybody on this list. Just the one state, except for the USA, they have beat everyone on this list. We're supposed to be the best country in the world, and look at these numbers. Even look at the cases picked up today. We beat everybody. In deaths, we beat everybody. In deaths today, we beat everybody. We beat the other 5 in this top 6 right here. We are the highest in every category. And New York City almost beats everybody by itself. That's rough right there. That's rough right there. But this man talking about opening up. That's rough right there. It started in China, and China ain't even in the top 10 no more. What the heck did Trump do wrong? How come China not in the top 10 no more? China is where it started. Well, China not in the top 10 no more, so we're going to be all right.
Who promised to keep preaching through the pandemic, quote, unless I'm in jail or the hospital, has now died from the coronavirus. Bishop Gerald Glenn was an evangelical pastor in Virginia. His last in-person service was last month after warnings against having gatherings of more than 10 people. Glenn's wife also tested positive for COVID-19. Family members say she's recovering.
And after
gonna wind up. You want to be an agitator, you're gonna wind up on that respirator. You want to be an agitator, you're gonna wind up on that respirator.
after. Grace? The couple is from Anacortes in their 60s. They say they felt symptoms consistent for coronavirus after meeting up with their choir group earlier this month. They chose not to get tested for COVID-19 because they wanted to save the test for those who needed it the most, but they did choose to quarantine themselves, and tonight they continue their road to recovery.
We're sitting at home, Carolyn Comstock and Jim Owen are finally in good spirits tonight after falling ill 3 to 5 days after attending choir practice in Mount Vernon earlier this month, a rehearsal that was at the center of a deadly coronavirus outbreak in Skagit County.
On Friday, I started to feel cold, chilled in the afternoon. I'm like, oh, that's weird. So I went and got a sweater, put it on. That didn't help. So I took my temperature was 99.3.
Comstock says she also lost her sense of smell and taste. Owen felt different symptoms.
I presented differently. I felt achy and fatigued as if I was coming down with something, that there was no cough, and my temperature was then and continued to be a degree below normal.
According to Skagit County Public Health, 60 members of Skagit Valley Chorale met up on March 10th. Within several days, 45 members became ill. 28 tested positive for COVID-19. 17 did not get tested but had consistent symptoms. And 2 people in their 80s died.
To get 3/4 of a group who only met for 2 hours positive, that's quite impressive transmission.
Dr. Howard Lybrand with Skagit County Public Health says the choir group took all precautions. Only members who didn't feel sick attended. They sat apart from each other, brought their own choir sheets, did not hug or shake hands, and had hand sanitizer available. But he says many people with the illness are asymptomatic, unknowingly spreading the virus, and singing may have played a role.
I think that singing with wide open mouth and projection of your voice certainly can cause droplet spread of the illness. We know that 2 people face-to-face in conversation can contaminate each other.
Comstock and Owens says they are now looking into helping others once they recover.
We want to be part of the solution. We would love to help out just in delivering meals or checking up on people.
At the time of the choir practice, there were no restrictions on gatherings in Skagit County, but there are now, and Skagit County Public Health continues to urge everyone to stay home and practice social distancing.
Everybody think it's a game. Naya says Patrick Ewing tested positive. Everybody think it's a game until they get it.
The investigation continues as officials work to learn more about the suspected arson Wednesday at First Pentecostal Church of Holly Springs.
I was blown away at this extreme development.
The church's attorney, Stephen Crampton of the Thomas More Society, says he believes the blaze is a direct result of the lawsuit the church filed against the city in April.
To find that graffiti is spray painted in there, I bet you stay home now, you hypocrites, right? Seems very clearly directed at this particular lawsuit and the church's stand for its own constitutional rights.
The church's pastor, Jerry Waldrop, filed that lawsuit, which detailed complaints that local officers allegedly disrupted a midweek Bible study as well as the church's Easter service 10 days prior. Crampton says the issue stems from the fact that the state of Mississippi deemed churches essential businesses while the city of Holly Springs did not.
To be fair to the city, there was some lack of clarity in some of the governor's initial executive orders.
Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves has been vocal with his opinion that the state does not have the right to shut down churches. Thursday, he tweeted about the fire, quote, "What is this pandemic doing to us? We need prayer for this country." The church is still fighting to meet in person, while executive orders currently only allow drive-in services.
We are in the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals seeking an emergency preliminary injunction that will permit the church to meet in person this coming Sunday.
We reached out to the city attorney who did not respond to our request for comment. We should also know the results of that preliminary injunction in just a few days. Reporting from Holly Springs, I'm Ariana Poindexter, WMC Action News 5.
She spent a lot of money on that weed, but they couldn't do nothing about that forehead, could they? That forehead. Well, she got about 2-inch hairline missing off that forehead. Nice weave though, but y'all done. But I don't know how they missed that. They couldn't fix that 2 inches. Why couldn't they fix that 2 inches? I was just saying, only 2 inches. They couldn't fix the 2 inches. Oh man, I tell you, boy. People always talk that mess. I ain't scared of that thing. Soon as somebody say you gotta get on that ventilator, they get scared then. I can't breathe. They get scared then. No, not the ventilator. God damn.
A lot of new developments today in the Lamont Arbery investigation. The man who recorded Arbery's shooting death appeared before a judge just 3 hours ago. And William Ronnie Bryant's attorney says they'll be ready for trial by July 4th. We also heard from the Georgia Bureau of Investigation today. The agents say Bryant tried to block Arbery multiple times before the young jogger was shot and killed. The video Bryant recorded of the shooting was the catalyst for Bryant's own arrest and the arrest of 2 others.
William Bryant and Greg and Travis McMichael all face felony murder charges and are in the Glynn County Jail. News 4 Jack's I-Team investigator Kelly Wiley spoke with Bryant's attorney and is joining us live outside the courthouse in Brunswick. Kelly?
Hey, Kelly.
Brian's attorney spoke right before that bond hearing, right in front of this courthouse. He says Brian did nothing but witness the shooting on February 23rd. GBI investigators say there was probable cause to make this arrest. Today, a third suspect in the shooting of Ahmaud Arbery faced a judge. This time, the man behind the camera. GBI officials said they don't believe the man recording the altercation was simply a bystander.
I can tell you that if we believed he was a witness, we wouldn't have arrested him.
Arrest warrants obtained from GBI say William Bryan, also known as Roddy, attempted to confine and detain Arbery, utilizing his vehicle on multiple occasions. Police reports state this happened after father and son, Gregory and Travis McMichael, got their guns, got in their truck, and followed Arbery through the neighborhood because they thought he was a burglary suspect. All three men are facing charges of felony murder. The attorney for Roddy Bryan refused to answer questions about the newest allegation against his client.
In response to the statement made by GBI Director Vic Reynolds this morning, with all due respect, from our perspective, it feels like the only thing that has changed since February 23rd or May 8th with respect to Roddy Bryan are the changing political winds. But we will not rush to judgment.
Our cameras were rolling as GBI investigators swarmed the home of Roddy Bryan to search for evidence on Thursday. The family of Ahmaud Arbery tells us the arrest of Bryan is a relief.
I was really overjoyed. I'm so happy because we always knew that he played a part in this. And to see him still being out, we had so many questions. But now that the GBI's got involved, it seems like everything is starting to work out in our favor.
And bond is not set for Roddy Bryan today. A judge said the Superior Court will have to set that for him. But his attorney did say that they're going to demand a speedy trial in this case, one that he hopes will actually begin on July 4th. Coming up at 6, we're telling you the hang-up that GBI has with making more arrests. Reporting live in Brunswick, Kelly Wiley, Channel 4, the local station.
Kelly's a little cutie. All right, we'll see more of you when the trial starts. Oh, all right, I think I'm out of videos then. Did I really delete those? What's this?
Today I'm identifying.
We already seen it. My bad. Wait a minute, I'm getting confused here. Did we see that?
Unless I give you my name and my details, is that correct?
So what NMX has asked us to do is in line with the MPI, which is the government is asking us to do. So they're asking all students to contact Trace where possible. So what we're doing is we're taking a name and a number. Michelle, can I just bother you for a sec? So we're taking just a name and a number so that we can get in contact with anybody who could come in contact with the virus.
Okay, so you're refusing my my ability to come in here and purchase something.
It is the safety of the staff and it's the safety of all the customers that we need to have this register. So without that, you can shop online with us, but unfortunately you will not be able to shop in the shop then.
So you're refusing my ability to be able to purchase something unless I give my personal details, is that right?
Sir,
is that right?
This is what the
It's a yes or no question. So you're refusing my ability to be able to purchase something because I won't give you my details, is that correct?
Where's her mask at?
Is that what you're telling me? So am I, okay, let me ask you, am I allowed to go in here and purchase something without giving you my name and details?
At this stage, and
No, so you're breaching my, do you realise you're in breach of my Privacy Act? You're in breach of the Privacy Act by refusing me to allow to come in here and buy something and making me give my details. You're in breach of my privacy. Do you understand that?
I can understand where you're coming from,
Is this your someone high up ladder, is it?
No. She is another worker that works here, and we are protecting our staff and our customers by following the...
How are you protecting me by breaching my privacy?
I just need to get you to wait in my room. It's not my choice. I am following what my company has told me and what they have been told me.
Have you ever heard of the Nuremberg Code?
No, I have not.
Nuremberg Code are the trials that Hitler did after the war, and when he put all his minions through the courts there, and they said that just doing my job is not an excuse for breaching people's rights. So again, you're refusing me entry into here and to purchase something unless I give you my personal details.
I understand, sir. If you have a complaint, you can call 0800 Animates and complain to them about their services. But unfortunately, I cannot.
Laws passed. So I want to start here with an article from the Library of Congress.gov. It reads, China vaccine law passed. All right, this was posted August 27th, 2019. It says, on June 29, 2019, the National People's Congress Standing Committee of the People's Republic of China adopted the PRC law on vaccine administration, in quotation marks, vaccine law. The official Xinhua news agency states that the law provides for the quote, strictest vaccine management with tough penalties in order to ensure the country's vaccine safety. Before the passage of this 100-article law, provisions governing vaccines were contained in the PRC Drug Administration Law, PRC Law on the Prevention and Treatment of Infectious Diseases, and a few relevant administration regulations and rules. The new law provides for regulatory requirements for researching, producing, distributing, and using vaccines. Such requirements, according to one legal commentator, are much more stringent than those for other drugs. It also contains a chapter specifying penalties for violating the vaccine law, which are also stricter than those for violating other drug laws. According to the law, if any violations of this law constitutes a crime, a, quote, heavier punishment within range of punishments.
I'm not hearing about no damn China. On the driver got a link. Let's check out the lingy dink. Let's check out that lingy dink.
Watch this shocking video of churchgoers explaining why they're still going to church during a coronavirus pandemic. Hello everyone, this is Mr. Obvious, and today on CNN.com. So, despite warnings, churchgoers explain why they're still going to services. Now, this is probably one of the most irresponsible, shocking, and disturbing videos I've ever seen, and it completely shows how viruses like COVID-19 spread everywhere. Because people don't practice social distancing, they ignore the pandemic, and they put everyone at risk. But before we go over this video, a quick word from this week's sponsor.
Zuck the Cuck drinks water like a duck, but he also drinks, and you get cryptocurrency for your
service with dozens of other people, including children. Can I ask you about your decision to go to church to be inside that building?
I wouldn't be anywhere else.
Aren't you concerned you could infect other people if you get sick inside?
No.
And we have Exhibit A, someone who says they wouldn't be anywhere else during the pandemic. Now keep in mind, there's a lot of states that have issued stay-home orders, telling people that they should probably stay home during the pandemic to keep people safe, to reduce transmission, and to make sure that we make it out of this alive. But there are people violating these orders, and as you can see in the headline, at least 14 states are exempting religious gatherings from stay-at-home orders. Needless to say, this is highly irresponsible and highly dangerous. Churches can be one of the biggest causes of infection. Take a look at this story on livescience.com. Super spreader in South Korea infects nearly 40 people with coronavirus. A woman in a South Korean church gave at least 37 people COVID-19. Now this article shows you that at churches, the virus can spread like wildfire. One person infected 37 people, but it gets way worse.
Infect other people if you get sick inside.
No.
People don't go to this.
No. I'm covered in Jesus' blood.
You know, it's people like this that cause a lot of people to look at religion in a negative light. She says the reason that she's not avoiding church is because she's covered in Jesus' blood.
His name is Jesus! His name is Jesus.
The Bible said, take your butt in the house. So how can you... I ain't gonna say nothing.
Apparently, she believes that this makes her immune to a virus that infects everyone regardless of religion or background. This woman is clearly insane.
I'm covered in Jesus' blood.
Other people who don't go to this church who you might encounter.
All of these people go to this church.
No, but you're going to be in places where other people...
I go to the grocery store every day. I'm in Walmart, Home Depot, all of those people.
So you can see how incredibly irresponsible this woman actually is. She says that she goes to the grocery store every single day. She goes to Walmart. She goes to Home Depot. And nothing bad has happened yet, right? Obviously, that means that nothing bad will ever happen. This is a fallacy. It is a common misconception. It is a nothing will ever happen to me bias. But that is simply not true. She could be infected already. And by going to church, she could be infecting others. This woman is clearly a danger to the public. And part of why I think that quarantines are kind of important, because you always have morons out there who believe that they're immune to the virus or above the virus.
2 minutes earlier, we watched as people arrived at this evangelical congregation, the Solid Rock Church in Cincinnati. This couple about to walk in with a toddler and a baby. And then there is this woman and man arriving. The woman hugs the man. That same man hugs the woman inside. The arriving woman hugs the man inside. And then she hugs a woman.
It's actually extremely comical just how many people were touched in that alone. But clearly, if there was a pandemic, if one of those people is infected, they all are, okay? There's so much contact in a lot of these religious orders, and this is one of the reasons I dislike organized religion. I've studied the occult, and I've studied cults, and needless to say, I see a lot of similarities between that and organized religion. It's really no different. People become blinded by their beliefs. They actually believe that their religion is going to make them immune or above a virus that infects everyone. Now, I mean, you're free to believe what you want to believe, but you've got to admit, this is dangerous behavior.
Church leaders would not talk to us on camera, but have posted this statement, which implicitly refers to the pandemic, and adds, for that reason, we believe that the doors of Solid Rock Church should remain open.
So I can't really see much of this letter, but they're saying that, I guess they're citing the Bible and saying, we should not neglect meeting together as some people do, because the day of Jesus' return is coming soon or something like that.
Atheists got to bow. Everybody got to bow.
And they're saying that, oh, we have a First Amendment right to assembly.
Hey,
you know what you do? You do have a right to assembly. You do have a right to religion in this country. It's protected by the Constitution. But you know, I mean, you could do a lot of things. That doesn't mean you should.
The blood of Jesus cures every disease. Psalms 91, read it.
You can get somebody else sick if you get sick inside.
Well, what if you die? You can get me sick.
So you can notice that they're all saying similar things, and that's about what I would expect for, you know, a borderline cult. They keep claiming, one, that Jesus' blood cures all diseases and will protect them, which I'm sure is what the pastor is feeding them, which is absolute nonsense. And then two, like, even if you're religious, even if you're part of this religion, I'm pretty sure you know, like, I'm pretty sure you're smart enough to know that they're talking utter nonsense. And two, they keep saying, well, other people could get me sick. I don't understand this argument because it's not an argument. Yes, other people can get you sick. You're at increased risk. And if you get sick, you could get other people sick. It's like that childish notion. Why shouldn't I eat candy? Sally stuffs her face with candy. Yeah, she does, but that doesn't mean you should. COVID-19 was no more. You know, I'm glad this guy, you know, he gives a thumbs up and he says it's okay. Like, trust me, bro.
I'm the pastor.
If a thumbs up was enough to prevent a pandemic, I think we would all be fine, and, you know, none of this would be happening. But this is the dude responsible for this. I think he's a very bad person, and I think that when everyone gets infected, as they ultimately will, he should be, you know, criminally charged for leading his flock astray. Ooh, isn't that poetic?
You do see both sides. Oh, yeah. I see both sides. Why not just pray on the internet, pray with your family right now, and keep people looking? It's called values and liberty. You have the choice as an American. But if you're infected, sir, and you go into the grocery store and you run into someone and get them infected, why not flip it the other way? That could happen.
Just what I thought. This man might have had an IQ above 100.
Yes, there's a number of congregants who are not happy that this church has stayed open. We talked to two of them yesterday. They love this church, but they are not going inside the church. They think it's a bad decision to leave the church open. but they did not want to talk on camera. They did not want to give their names because they don't want to ostracize themselves from their friends in the church.
And this is why I call most organized religions a cult. In most cults, you're forced to believe whatever the leader says. 1, the leader will often make outrageous claims that aren't true, but you're forced to believe it. 2, if you go against the cult, and this is probably one of the biggest signs, you will be ostracized and punished. 3, this video has it all. You might want to think very carefully about the culture and the nature of the people you're hanging out with and the people you're listening to. Maybe it's a positive thing. I'm sure there are good churches out there that are low-key, but when I look at a church like this, it's just red flags everywhere. All I see is a cult.
As we saw between 70 and 75 people walk in the church, they're staying open for now.
So as you can see, a lot of jack-offs are going to this church. They're endangering everybody else, and I'm not singling out any religion. Like, this goes for everybody. If you belong to any organized religion, the last thing you need to do is go to congregation or join in mass gatherings, because you're going to put yourself at risk. You're going to put other people at risk. And as you saw from the story in Korea, you could end up spreading the virus to a large amount of people. Now, I don't think you want that. I think that would be the wrong thing. I'm pretty sure that would violate most religious principles. You know, endangering other people's lives or getting other people killed. Negligence. Stop going to these mass gatherings. We're in a pandemic. You're not immune to the virus because of, magical blood. But that's merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think about this story? I gotta tell you, it's quite upsetting seeing this sort of thing in this day and age. It's just an irresponsibility, because these are the people, while we listen to the stay-at-home orders, while we listen to social distancing, while we take precautions, these people are clueless, careless, and get us all sick. Let me know.
There's no shame. Did we see this already, or does need a driver? Oh no, we haven't seen that. I've been ran forward today. Hey, get buzz on. That's what we need to start doing. Get the National Guard together. We'll get rid of the COV. Y'all think maybe he's a I'll read the last. I got news for you. I got news for you. What happened? It froze? You gonna make us watch that again? Oh, you're terrible. Yeah. You're gonna make us have to watch that again? Yeah, I'm going to the bathroom then. I ain't watch this again. I can't do it. We had to fight. We had to fight. I tell you right now, we had to fight. That's right. We would have to fight. I'm not gonna have no heart attack. Trying to bounce around like a frog. I'd rather go down swinging with the cops. I just like, I'd rather you just all jump on me and we just fight then. I go out like that. What's the name? The driver, I don't know. You know, American young people are kind of hard-headed, you know. They might say, well, you know, they might see it as a badge of honor. They might get used to it. And be like, well, we can still do what we want to do. We can still do what we want to do. We can still get it done. Boy, that's rough right there. I'm sorry. You're like, officer, I got a pacemaker, man. I'm seriously, if you really think I'm going to be doing these frog things then pass out, I'd rather you just jump on me. I mean, seriously. But you right though, boy, it changed some attitudes. People had their cell phones and be out there recording, where's the Look at them doing the frog hop. They gonna make a new song. Hop, hop, jump, jump, skip, skip, flip, flip. We doing the CV dance. Oh, that's crazy though. I'm upset that I didn't mean to erase the video. I didn't mean to erase the video. Wait a minute. I might erase it, but hold on. I sent it to people. Wait a minute. Didn't I send it to Naya? Do I have it? Yeah. Wait a minute. It should be easy to find it. I went way too far back. Wait a minute, I'm looking. How did we miss this? All right, hold on, I don't see it. Let me go to Liz. Yeah. Yeah. And I can't find the video. Man. Well, hold on. I'll still watch this. Oh, no, I can't. They gonna flag. Dang, I forgot. Whoops. That's all right. The driver got a link. Yeah, they flagged us for playing that. And damn Guardian.
Introducing
damn Guardian. I said it, the damn Guardian. Don't send no Guardian links. Screw the Guardian.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Top 10 Trends. Today, we'll be taking a look at 15 of the worst forms of capital punishment. We've come a long way. At least now when we kill people, we try to do it humanely. A note for everyone out there, I'm going to do my best to make sure this video isn't disgusting, but this probably isn't for the squeamish. I will make sure that nothing on screen is too ghastly, but I do want to give a somewhat of a accurate representation of what was going on in each of these executions. So, note for the faint of heart, you should probably go watch Top 10 Relatable SpongeBob Moments. Number 15, walking the plank. This is a famous one and one you're probably familiar with. Walking the plank is when you force someone to walk off the end of a plank on a boat where they fall in the water. Now, this may or may not be common news, but sharks would often follow pirate ships because they constantly tossed out garbage, food, spoiled meat, and people when they forced them to walk the plank. Yes, there's a chance you could drown in the sea, but far more likely you were going to be ripped apart by the sharks that followed most pirate ships. Number 14, upright jerking. No, this is not autoerotic asphyxiation, but I can see why you thought that. This is a reverse hanging, where a rope is tied around someone's neck, but instead of being dropped off of a plank or a platform, a crane or a similar device yanks up very quickly. This, I have to assume, usually breaks the spine quickly, but in some cases, the victim strangles to death in the matter of minutes. Terrible. Number 13, sawing. Practiced in Europe and parts of Asia, the victim was tied upside down and then sawed in half, starting from the groin going all the way down to the head. Because you were upside down, the brain would receive a rush of adrenaline that would keep you alive long enough for most of this pain of sawing to take effect. This is arguably one of the worst ways I can imagine to be executed. Dear God. Can you just imagine being cut in half with a rusty, crappy medieval saw? No thanks. Just shoot me. Number 12, scaphism. This is an ancient Persian method of execution where someone is stripped naked and placed inside of a tree trunk. Only their heads, hands, and feet are sticking out. They're then force-fed milk and honey until they develop a severe case of diarrhea. Their exposed skin is then covered in honey to attract insects, or they're left floating in a stagnant pond. As the person's waste builds up, the insects attracted begin to eat and breed within their skin, which become increasingly dangerous and gangrenous. Death could take over 2 weeks. Good God. Number 11, cement shoes. This one's pretty popular and kind of a movie trope, apparently beloved by the American mafia, although I'm not so sure how often it's actually used. The person's feet are placed in a wash bin or tub, and then it's filled with concrete and left to dry in a short amount of time. Once it's dried, that person is then tossed into a river and left to drown. Because their feet are encased in cement, there's really no way out of it. I wonder how many people have been killed this way. Probably not many, but what a horrible way to go. Drowning and there's nothing you can do about it. Number 10, flaying. Flaying involves removing someone's skin in strips, and not all at once, usually in public. This method of execution was obviously incredibly painful, and it was often done publicly, with the skin being hung up in very commonly traversed areas. Usually as an example for people not to follow. Flaying was a brutal method of intimidating people into listening or doing what you wanted them to. It was often a method of torture used to set an example. Good God. Number 9. Blood eagle. A Nordic way of killing people, the blood eagle involved cutting the ribs of the victim by the spine and then breaking them so they resembled wings. Then you pull the victim's lungs out through the new opening. Then you sprinkle salt on the wound for fun. I'm not sure how you die this one. I'm gonna guess shock. Jesus, my God. Number 8, the gridiron. This one's kind of self-explanatory. You basically make a human-sized grill, put hot coals under the grill, and then slowly grill a person who's strapped to the gridiron. This process could take hours, and it would never be quick. The coals were never kept hot enough to just incinerate the person, and there's not enough smoke for you to suffocate, so you can often spend hours as your body is slowly cooked all the way through. Ghastly, not the Pokemon. Number 7, crushing. Crushing was actually not that common of a form of death. What they would do is they put a thick wooden plank on top of a person's chest and then slowly add weight. This process could take all day, and the human body can actually support a decent bit of weight before it finally gives out and splats. This wasn't used typically to outright execute a person. There's a lot better ways of doing it, and crushing can't really be done in public. You have to do it in private, so it's not even really good as an intimidation technique for other people. What it is good for is slowly but surely extracting information or a guilty plea out of a victim. Imagine laying down with over 800 pounds of weight on your chest. How long is it going to take for you to admit to doing literally anything just to get that weight off of your chest? Not long. Number 6, the breaking wheel. The breaking wheel is also known as the cathode wheel. The victim is tied to the wheel, and it was spun, while the executioner would deliver bone-shattering blows to their limbs and body. The victim's appendages would be pushed through the spokes in the wheel, and then they would be placed on display for all to see. This, again, is not a very fast or clean method of execution. It was designed to be done publicly to scare the hell out of anyone else who would think about doing what this person did. Ancient humans were creative in the absolute worst ways, weren't they? Number 5, the Spanish tickler. The Spanish tickler, or the cat's paw, is actually something we talked about in brutal methods of torture. When used, it looks like a pair of brass knuckles with spikes, or a chicken's foot, or a big claw. It doesn't have to be used for execution. It can be used simply to sink into a victim's flesh and then rip a big chunk out. Do that a couple times, you got yourself someone who's not going to forget anything soon. But do this all day, and yeah, they're going to die. But not from the ripping. All you're doing is ripping off skin, and it's going to hurt. But that wouldn't outright kill a person unless they die from shock. No, they'll die later, a week or two later, in fact, as the infection sets in from the massive gouges across their back and chest, and the lack of skin they use to cover those areas. Number 4, burning at the stake. A fan favorite, if I had to guess. Burning at the stake was where you were tied to a stake, covered in tinder, and then lit on fire. Burning at the stake is one of the more famous ways of inhumanely killing people, and is featured in movies and TV shows and books and all sorts of media about this time period. Probably because it's so terrifying. It's a huge ceremony. People come out to watch. No one really steps in to stop it happening. You're tied to a post and then kindling, and then you see the guy with a torch walking towards you, and you know it's all over. Number 3. Ling Chi, or Death of 1,000 Cuts. The death by 1,000 cuts, or Ling Chi, was practiced in China all the way up to the 20th century, until it was finally outlawed. Ling Chi is exactly what it sounds like. A thin and small knife is used to cut a prisoner as many times as possible before they die. They will die, that's for certain, but the executioner is doing his best to make sure they live as absolutely long as possible. Ling Chi is absolutely horrifying. Death by 1,000 cuts. A slow, sure, and painful way of dying. You're not going to die from the wounds. You're going to die of blood loss and shock hours, if not days later. Number 2. A Colombian necktie. Yes, it's a real thing, not just something employed in movies. A Colombian necktie is when you slit a victim's throat or the bottom of their jaw and pull the tongue out through the opening. I'm not exactly sure how that kills someone. I guess you slit their throat, that would probably do it. Also, sheer shock of having your tongue pulled out through the lower half of your jaw, and also suffocation, if I had to guess. Really horrible way to die. Oftentimes, people who died from a Colombian necktie were left out in the open to be discovered by the police or a rival gang. And number 1, hanged, drawn, and quartered. This was done primarily in England, although I'm sure other countries had similar fates. This is one of the most brutal forms of execution ever developed. There are 3 parts to this execution. First, you were tied to a wooden frame and dragged to the location, which is the drawing. That doesn't sound very fun. Then you were hung by the neck until you were nearly dead. Immediately after being taken down and prevented from dying, your abdomen was ripped open and your entrails were removed. As you watched your own entrails removed, they were then burned right in front of your eyes. Then you were also emasculated, which means you have whatever genitals you have cut off, and beheaded. After all of this, your body is divided into 4 parts, which is the quartering, and placed in various locations around the country as a public crime deterrent. This type of punishment was traditionally reserved for incredibly heinous men, and women were burned at the stake. How about that execution gap? Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like the video, please give it a like down below. And if you want to see more content, subscribe to Top 10 Trends. I hope you guys are having a great.
All right, great. God darn. I don't know. We don't get flagged for that. Great. I'm glad we made separate videos. One thing about it cutting off. I'm glad we had a separate video, man. That rough right there. That was rough. I said it was rough. Dang, do I really look that dark? Let me, should I turn the light back on? Let me see. It really don't make much of a difference. Is it because I'm wearing the hat? If I turn the hat around, do I look better if I turn the hat around? Yeah, that hat gave me a shadow. Yeah, you're right, the driver. The crime rate will go down. Yeah, that's his thing. Anyway, I'm still looking. Here it is. I want to see this video again.
Why is this allowed out here? Why?
In February, 25-year-old Ahmad Aubrey was shot dead in the South Georgia neighborhood of Satilla.
All right, the driver, I got you here. Uh-oh, what happened?
In the 2 months that followed, no arrests were made. But local residents and lawmakers protested what they said was a deadly combination of racial profiling and flawed self-defense laws.
When they stop you, make sure you got your cameras on. Make sure you got a video.
Police did eventually arrest 2 suspects, but it was days after this video of the fatal shooting emerged. Gregory McMichael and his son Travis were charged with murder and aggravated assault. The case has reignited the national debate over racial violence.
I'm sure you saw the news about Ahmaud Arbery. It looks like murder.
The American public saw the video.
What exactly happened in the last moments of Mr. Arbery's life? Using security camera footage, cell phone video, and 911 calls and logs, the Times has reconstructed the critical 12 minutes from when Mr. Arbery appeared on Satilla Drive to his death less than 300 yards away. It's around 1 p.m. on February 23rd when Ahmaud Arbery is out, less than 2 miles from his home. A security camera at 219 Satilla Drive is recording when Mr. Arbery enters the frame at around 1:04 p.m. He may have been jogging in the area, but he stops on the front lawn of 220 Satilla, a house being built across the street. Arbery glances around and wanders into the open construction site. Inside, security footage briefly captures him looking around. Meanwhile, outside, a neighbour walks from Jones Road towards Satilla Drive and calls 911.
There's a guy in the house right now that has heard construction. 219 or 220 Satilla Drive.
The neighbour waits by the street corner. He will later tell the dispatcher that Arbery resembles a recent trespasser in the area.
He's been caught on the camera a month before night. Kind of an ongoing thing out here. Like
on multiple occasions before February 23rd, several trespassers were caught on camera at 220 Satilla. The owner routinely alerted the police. On 4 occasions, what appears to be the same man was filmed. It's unclear if this was Arbery, but even if it were, this does not justify his shooting by neighbours outside on the street. The site's owner says nothing was ever stolen from the house during these incidents, all on February 23rd, and no property was ever damaged. But neighbours were aware of the trespasses, and the community was on alert. Now, back to the day in question. It's 1:08 p.m. and Arbery is walking around inside the house. 4 minutes after he entered, he walks out and runs off.
He's running right now. Very good right now.
Okay, what is he doing?
Running down the street.
In the top corner of the security footage, we can see down the street to 230 Satilla, the home of Travis McMichael. At 1:10 p.m., Travis and his father, Gregory, grab their guns, jump in a white truck, and leave the house to pursue Mr. Arbery. We don't have footage showing the next 3 minutes, but testimony Gregory McMichael gave police at the scene, and interviews by another witness, Roddy Bryan, indicate what happened. Gregory and Travis McMichael follow Arbery onto Burford Road. Their neighbour, Roddy Bryan, sees the pursuit, gets in his car, and follows. The McMichaels try to cut Arbery off. Arbery doubles back and passes them. Bryan tries to block Arbery, but Arbery runs past him and toward Holmes Road. Gregory McMichael...
That is what's missing. Where's that video? Where is that video? Where is that video? Wind this back. This is what we want to see.
Indicate what happened. Gregory and Travis McMichael follow Arbery onto Burford Road. Their neighbour, Roddy Bryan, sees the pursuit, gets in his car and follows. The McMichaels try to cut Arbery off. Arbery doubles back and passes them. Bryan tries to block Arbery, but Arbery runs past him and toward home.
That is the block. That is the block that he's being charged with right there. Okay?
Road. Gregory McMichael climbs from the cab to the bed of the truck, armed with a handgun. We don't know exactly what happens next, but Bryan and the McMichaels end up following Arbery on Holmes Road, and we next see Arbery at 1:14 p.m. running back down Holmes Road, away from Roddy Bryan and towards the McMichaels. Roddy Bryan is filming, and a warning, these scenes are distressing. Gregory McMichael dials 911 at this time.
911.
Now, I want to go back.
Roddy Bryan is filming, and a warning, these scenes are distressing.
This is what I'm trying to figure out. He ran back up the road. The same road he just went down. Roddy made him change directions. So now he's actually going back to where he was. Do y'all understand? Let's go back a little bit more.
Climbs from the cab to the bed of the truck, armed with a handgun. We don't know exactly. Try to cut Arbery off. Arbery doubled in. Indicate what happened. Gregory and Travis McMichael.
Now, this is Sedilla Drive right here. And it comes out onto this road. Right? Now,
follow Arbery onto Burford Road.
They go to
Their
Burford.
Neighbor, Roddy Bryan, sees the pursuit, gets in his car and follows. The McMichaels try to cut Arbery off. Arbery doubles back and passes them. Bryan tries to block Arbery, but Arbery runs past him and toward Holmes Road.
Okay. So now, Ronnie is behind Arbery right now. The McMichaels are turning around, right?
Gregory McMichael climbs from the cab.
And the reason why they're so far behind is the father climbed into the back of the truck. So at this point, the first point, everybody was in the car. Right now, the father just got out the truck. Now, it's a hunt. Y'all understand? Now it's a hunt. Now it's a grip of hurry back now. Now it's a hunt. Now it ain't, we just gonna stop this boy. We gonna get him. But here we go.
The bed of the truck, armed with a handgun. We don't know exactly what happens next, but Bryan and the McMichaels end up following Arbery on Holmes Road. And we next...
Now, here's the question. This is the original road right here. Santilla Drive. Over here, where's the 230 at? 230 is the McMichael's home. And y'all know that 220 is the abandoned home. So, we right back. Basically where we started. They sitting here at the top because they know I don't think Holmes Road go anywhere. And the McMichaels are sitting there because they know it don't go nowhere. He got to come back. He got to come back. And Ronnie is behind him. Blocked him and sent him back that way. Which he had to go anyway. But let's follow.
See Aubrey at 1:14 p.m. running back down Holmes Road, away from Roddy Bryan and towards the McMichaels. Roddy Bryan is filming, and a warning, these scenes are distressing.
So where's the film at?
Gregory McMichael dials 911 at this time.
911, what's the address emergency?
I'm not here. It's still a store. There's a black male running down the street.
Where at Satilla Shores?
I don't know what street we're on. Damn it.
Now right there, I told y'all there's a security drainage right there. And it's on the other side too. So it will be really hard to drive over there without tearing up your car. But now I believe he didn't know what to do. Now you see him heading back because he started to go to the driver's side, but Travis was there. So then he started to run to the grass, but the car came up behind and said something to him. So then he doubles back and tries to go forward around the truck, but he sees Travis. He sees Travis. And instead of running straight, he decided to go for the gun.
Sir, hello, sir.
And you see him fall.
Let's watch this back and break down what happens. This is Arbery. He has been running from the vehicles for almost 4 minutes. Travis is standing by the driver's side of the truck, armed with a shotgun. Gregory is in the bed of the truck on the 911 call. Arbery doesn't know where to run. He veers right, then left, and then darts around the right side of the vehicle. Arbery comes around the front of the truck. We see his white t-shirt through the windshield. And here is Travis, now leaning toward him. This is the instant the first shot is fired. Arbery is hit in the chest. His right lung, ribs, and sternum are injured. The two men wrestle over the gun. Gregory shouts. Arbery punches Travis. In the back of the truck, Gregory drops the cell phone. A second blast goes off, out of frame, but we see the shotgun smoke here. Arbery is heavily bleeding. He throws another punch. Travis fires a final shot, which hits Arbery in his left upper chest. Travis walks away, holding his gun. Gregory gets off the truck, clutching his .357 Magnum. According to the police report, Gregory rolled Arbery over to see if he had a weapon. He did not. Police officers arrive within seconds of the shooting.
Block that back a second.
According to the...
Pause it. Wait a minute. Say a little bit more.
According to the police report, Gregory rolled out. Travis walks away, holding his gun. Gregory gets off the truck, clutching his .357 Magnum. According...
Okay. Upon my arrival, I observed Officer Minshew 184 setting up a perimeter. I began speaking with Gregory Michael, who was a witness to the incident. Michael stated there had been several break-ins in the neighborhood, and further, the suspect was caught on surveillance video. McMichael stated that he was in his front yard and saw the suspect from the break-ins hauling ass down Satilla Drive toward Buford Drive. McMichael stated he then ran inside his house and called to Travis McMichael and said, "Travis, the guy is running down the street, let's go." McMichael stated he went to his bedroom and grabbed a .357 Magnum, and Travis grabbed his shotgun because they didn't know if the male was armed or not, McMichael stated. The other night they saw the same male and he stuck his hand down his pants to let them believe the male was armed.
According to the police report, Gregory rolled out.
Go back a little bit. Wait a minute, go back.
His .357 Magnum. According to the police report.
Michael stated he and Travis got in the truck and drove down Satilla Drive toward Buford Drive. Michael said they arrived at the intersection of Satilla Drive and Holmes Drive. They saw the identified male running down Buford Drive. Michael then stated that Travis drive down Buford and attempted to cut off the male. Michael stated the unidentified male turned around and began running back the direction from which he came, and Roddy attempted to block him, which was unsuccessful. Michael stated he then jumped into the bed of his truck, and he and Travis continued to Holmes in an attempt to intercept him. Michael stated they saw the identified male running and shouted, "Stop, stop, we want to talk to you." Michael stated they pulled up beside the male and shouted again, at which time Travis exited the truck with the shotgun. Michael stated the unidentified male began to violently attack Travis, and the two men started fighting over the shotgun, at which point Travis tried a shot, and then a second later, there was a second shot. Michael stated the male fell face down on the pavement with his hand under his body. Michael stated he rolled the man over to see if the male had a weapon. I observed blood on Michael's hands from rolling. That's amazing. Why they skip all this? This is important.
Report. Gregory rolled
anything else we missed?
Arbery over to see if he had a weapon. He did not. Police officers arrived within seconds of the shooting, and a minute or so later, at 1:16 p.m., police officer Orr Minshew reports 2 subjects on Holmes Road, shots fired, male on ground, bleeding out. The police took Gregory McMichael's testimony and...
Now let's take a look. There's water here. This road dumps into this road right here. So there's nowhere to go. Like I said, there's nowhere for him to go. He got to go back the way he came with jumping the water. Either he had to run in the trees and hope they don't find him, or he got to go jump in the water. But y'all can see this is all open, and then it opens out again. Look at that. They go all the way around. That water go all the way around. There ain't nowhere to go. Now, this bring us back, or are we still in that picture? Do I got to go back and change it? No, we back. We are back. So let's pop the chat back out. So it's more video. It's definitely more video. And that video is showing Roddy blocking him off. Now they out there on the shore. And water surrounds. Now that road might have took him somewhere, but Roddy made him turn around. I don't know if that road go anywhere, but Roddy made him turn around. And when he got around the bend, he saw the truck sitting there, and he thought he could run around it again. But this time, George was in the back of the pickup, whereas before they were both inside. So now this isn't, we just want to stop you. This is, you ain't getting by us this time. Before they were both in the truck. This time they both on the ground waiting. Because they know he got to come back. They sitting there waiting. They set a trap for him. So, like I said, they changed my opinion. Now, it's not just simply, hey, we want to talk to you. Now it's, hey, you ain't getting away. Now, if they had let him run by and Travis stayed and he came up to them, the police would have been right there and he wouldn't have got nowhere. And it all could have been worked out, but instead you got a man dead. Because they couldn't wait seconds. If they knew there wasn't nowhere for Ahmed to go, why didn't they just let him run by? I'm asking the question, anybody? Why were they so gang-ho on getting him when he couldn't go nowhere? Hello? Everybody fall asleep? Hello? The driver said, you think America is too soft on criminals? Well, it's real easy to say yes, except when, you know, when the charge is on you. It's real easy to say yes. We gotta change. Get that off 144. At least put it on 360. There you go. Look a little bit better. God darn. Naya says the Facebook neighborhood group is said to have known about the income. Can somebody find the Facebook neighborhood group? Let me see. A look at this Shores Facebook group mentioned in the Ahmaud Arbery investigation. Oh, we got a video of get it.